of the C4I Intelligence Unit on 6th of January in Market on the 20th of December 2022 and kidnapped her to pipeline. It said the and elected 2 eyes and a song as 600,000 from her relatives before she was released 2 later. While the states are still searching for remaining sources, they believe that the girls were relationships cultivated on social media. In the meantime, the River Police has 6 persons before a magistrate court in Port Harcourt on 2 counts of alleged economic sabotage, forgery, and printing of affidavits and public documents racketeering. The suspects, Gift Godwin, Esther, Monica Sylvester, Virasi Warabe, Irene Anthony, Comfort Jude, and Mary Effiong, are alleged to have been carrying out the act around the court premises along Station Road in Port Harcourt. The police say the activities of the suspects are causing loss of revenue to the High Court, which is an offence punishable under the River State criminal law. But the suspects pleaded not guilty. Presiding Chief Magistrate Omonigo Nwibani, after listening to counsel representing the parties on bail application, adjourned to 14th of February for bail consideration. Moving on now, the Cole Bariko campaign organization in Eche local government area says the huge crowd at yesterday's APC campaign flag-off at Chokocho Eche is a pointer that Eche people are tired of the current administration in the state. Coordinator of Cole Bariko campaign organization in Eche, Gift Akanwa, in a statement, said history was made, especially in the face of the already signed executive orders 21 and 22. He thanked the party leaders of the state for choosing Eche local government area as the flagship for the campaign flag-off. He assured the governorship candidate and all the APC candidates that Eche people will vote for them to ensure the collective victory of the party at the polls. On his part, APC spokesman of Eche Local Government Area Campaign Council, Godwin Amadi, condemned the sealing off of the Tipa Park, Chokocho, which was used for the APC rally. He described the action of the chairman of Eche Local Government Area as oppressive and anti-democratic. Mr. Amadi called for immediate unsealing of the place as it is a private property. Also, the governorship candidate of APC, Tony Cole, appreciated Eche people for their resilience, display of support and commitment to ensure that the APC wins River State in the February and March 2023 general elections. He promised to create employment and wealth for the Rivers people. He also promised to revive education, agriculture, commerce and enthrone good governance in River State. Experts in politics and international relations have been speaking on the significance of Chatham House visit by some presidential candidates and the INEC chairman. An international relations expert, SCF Mwobuwene, tells correspondent Soibio Ruwari that the visit to the Royal Institute showed that the Western countries still have a role to play in the global acceptability of a president that is to be elected.
Villa is very, very significant and strategic to the UK economy. If you're able to get the Royal Society for international.
Well, Dr. Mwobuwene also said the visits are a sign that the colonial masters still determine the outcome of elections in Nigeria.
The significance to us as a country, what we have is flag independence. We are said to be an independent country. So you must go for clearance to your former colonial master. You are ruling yourself, but somehow you are subservient. We have what we call hierarchy of nations. They are former colonial masters, and they feel that they can go extra mile to make or man Nigerian politics. Britain can go extra mile through their security and intelligence architecture to make or man any candidate.
On his part, a political scientist, Obinna Nwodim, said the candidates should enlighten the electorate better on their choice than going to speak at Chatham House in the UK.
Going to Chatham House does not make any difference. It does not add any political value to Nigeria's electoral system. Effort should be concentrated in enlightening the local citizenry, the electorate at home, to know what they have for Nigerians and how to go about it. In my mind, it's a show of the level of inferiority complex and the external influences we have in our school system.
Dr. Nwodim said speaking at Chatham House will not add value to the electoral processes.
We tie ourselves, our policies to foreign countries, which at the end of the day are shaped by external influences. It doesn't have much effect because the electorate, those who will vote, are Nigerians. So going out there to begin to talk about things, the policies, what you're going to do, and you're not talking to Nigerians. Nigerians should be the beneficiaries of the policies of the candidates, the policies of the parties.
Away from that, a concerned indigene of Oyibo, Victor Opute, has raised concern over the slow pace of work on the Afam Oyibo Road contract by the contractor in charge of the construction. Mr. Opute, who is also the president of the Movement for the Development of Oyibo Ethnic Nationality, tells our correspondent that he fears if the contractor will be able to finish the work before the rains come. He appealed to the Rivers State government to compel the contractor to speed up work on that road.
The slow pace of work at that Afam road is what Oyibo people are concerned about. And of course, to a large extent, if the road is not completed and rainy season meets us there, it is going to affect seriously the condition of the road and people will have to suffer. You may remember that we have always said that some section of the road, even the drainage have not been done up to that extent. Like the Umoshi area, Farmer area, those areas, hands have not touched there. The company have not approached that area. So if nothing is done, it will really affect the people as usual, especially in those very bad, deplorable areas.
As you may know, the road was flagged off in December 2021 by the national chairman of the PDP, Iyorchia Ayu. Still ahead, President Buhari says over $1 billion spent on weaponry to recover territories from Boko Haram. Stay tuned.
Greetings, my fellow
power projects in Ogoni land will be executed soon, following the bottleneck that is always associated with government contracts. Mr. Mite expressed this doubt while speaking on the over 100 billion naira approved by the federal government for remediation and execution of power projects in the area.
Because from the point of approval to the time of getting the thing working, it takes ages, and there are so many dynamics. I am not, as a person, excited about that. Someone says they've approved funds. Is this not just another contract for the boys that approval has been given for electricity? Most times you hear words of government saying, we have been included. People hear that and start getting hope, and it is not real in terms of anything.
The former MOSOP president, who said a similar contract was awarded by NDDC and was not executed, called for transparency in the execution of this current contract.
NDDC had even awarded contracts before for electrification of parts of Ogoni and Opobo. That has not left the ground more than 10 years after that contract. There has been an approval. I am more interested in real actions that will have tangible benefits to my people, not politics, not job for the boys, not another time. When will this government start the process of procurement? When will the contractor mobilize? And we have elections next month. Timing also makes it quite suspicious.
Recall that recently the Federal Executive Council approved 123.4 billion naira for remediation and execution of power projects in Ogoni land in Rivers State. And now to security. President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration spent over $1 billion on equipment needed to recover territories in the northeast taken by Boko Haram. The president said this during an address at the African Conference for Peace 2023 in Mauritania. He said Nigeria continues to engage bilaterally and multilaterally to comprehensively win the war against insurgency and other related terror groups through kinetic and non-kinetic approaches. Chairman, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Mohammed Buba Marwa, has warned that unrepentant drug barons and cartels will face tougher times in 2023 if they fail to back out of the illicit drug business. Mr. Marwa, in a media briefing in Abuja, said the agency is currently prosecuting 34 drug barons in court and has secured orders for the temporary forfeiture of their assets. In business, the federal government says 4 million electricity meters will be distributed in the second phase of the ongoing National Mass Metering Program. Well, Special Advisor to the President on Infrastructure, Ahmad Zakari, said this on Channels Television today. Well, Zakari said 1 million units were deployed in the first phase of the program. In entertainment, Grammy Award winner Wizkid says he will be going on a tour with Davido at the end of his More Love, Less Ego tour, scheduled to kick off in February in the United Kingdom. Well, Wizkid said this on his Instagram story today, 3 days after winning the Best Act in West Africa award at Afrima. And in sports, Wales men's and women's senior players will be paid the same for representing their country for the first time. The Football Association of Wales have agreed a deal that will see equal pay come into effect immediately.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
The UN Secretary General has dispatched his deputy Amina Mohammed, the head of UN Women, Sima Bahous, and the team to Afghanistan. Well, they have been tasked with speaking to senior Taliban leaders at the highest possible level about reversing restrictions, including a new ban on female aid workers, now seen to endanger urgent life-saving humanitarian operations. And that's the news. But before we go, another look at the highlights of the major stories. On the news this evening, you heard that the police have arrested 2 members of an online dating syndicate in Rivers State. 6 persons have been arraigned in court over alleged economic sabotage and forgery in Port Harcourt. Experts have spoken on the significance of the Chatham House visit by some presidential candidates. And on the foreign scene, UN Stop Women are meeting senior Taliban leaders over female aid worker ban. The news was edited by Martha Okere. Clear weather in Port Harcourt this evening. Collect your PVC and vote. Your vote is your voice. My name is Constance Mega. Thank you for listening.